He passed away like maybe in his late 40s or early 50s. And I mean, to me, that's just totally ridiculous. Like they're just um we need to recognize the signs. Like I I don't know. I wasn't close enough to him where I kind of knew what symptoms he was suppressing, but I have no question that symptoms were being suppressed, just like you were having pain, right? And the doctor says, "Here, take this pain
Right, they
medication. This
they
will
did
fix it."
they did X-rays on me, but nobody thought about looking at my brain until I kept asking, and it ended up I have a dent on my brainstem because it wasn't growing on the brainstem, right? But it's always my husband jokes that it's very sexy, but it's you have to, like, find the humor in it. But
Sure.
maybe even though I was exposed to I mean, I had one of those brick phones in the beginning. I mean, you just don't know,
Yeah.
but
Well, the other thing too that people will say is, so if it really is so toxic, why doesn't everybody who, use the brick
right,
phone have the same problems? And it's a fair question. And I know it's frustrating, but there is such a soup of combination that each one of us is dealing with. We
right.
have genetics, we have our environment, we have like how we came into the world,
That's true.
like our gestational period. And then if we came into the world and maybe we were early or late, or we had something that they had to medicate early on that affected our immune system. Like there's just so many different things that
Right.
could have happened very early on that we have
Well, that's
zero control over, right? And then all the years we've lived, we've
you just
been
don't know.
exposed to things that the other person wasn't. And you just have no way of knowing like why your particular combination is extra sensitive when somebody else is not.
And, there it does make sense when you're a child, if you are exposed, you're more susceptible. My mother never had any issues. You know what I'm saying? My
Yeah.
father died a long time ago from Agent Orange exposure. He was in Vietnam. You just don't know what I was around,
Yeah.
and I was young. And as an
Yeah.
adult, you just don't know. And we
Yeah.
have
So
so
this
many.
is an interesting, there's an MD that can't think of what his last name is. His first name is Tom. I haven't had a chance to read his book yet, but I
Okay.
heard him speak at a conference that I was at, and my mind was blown, right? But he said that some of these diseases that are these odd kind of things um, can be passed through to the offspring through like bodily fluids, right?
Right.
So like you are the product of your dad and your mom,
Mhm.
right? But where your mom was exposed to the toxicity that your dad was dealing with as an adult with an already established immune system and all of that, you were exposed to Agent Orange
Somehow.
toxicity
Right.
from the time you were a egg, you know?
Right. Right.
And so do you think that could have potentially um kind of made you more susceptible to
Right.
things that would maybe somebody else would not struggle with as much,
And I
So
think it's more than just the agent. I'm sure all the military people are
oh
exposed to a
sure,
lot of
yeah.
stuff.
Yeah. No,
Exposed to
that's
a
just
lot.
an example.
Yeah.
I love to like have real examples that seem so odd, right? Because I'm not saying that you are gonna meet your dad's fate. You are aware of it and you're doing things to mitigate it, right? And fortunately, I encourage people in my book to become their own PCP, and that's primary care person.